Okay, day 12 is another Spider-Man story, but this time it's Gwen Stacy Spider-Man, right? Gwen Stacy and Miles Morales are great friends as well as the heroes Ghost Spider and Spider-Man. Join them as they take on the new thief in town in Finessed. That's uh that's new young people jargon, finessed, even though that word is definitely used out of context, right? Finessed. By night, Miles Morales and Gwen Stacy are the superheroes known as Spider Man and Ghost Spider. But by day, they are students, and sometimes that means homework. Today, that homework includes visiting the art museum and writing about a piece of art that inspires them. They decided to invite along their new friend, Jean, who is their age but had just graduated from MIT, a college for super smart students. She had just moved to New York, so Miles and Gwen had taken her under their wings. Miles, Gwen, and then Jean there up the stairs. What's with all the security guards? Miles asked. The guards were everywhere, watching all of the visitors very closely. Haven't you heard? There's a new thief in town named Finesse. She's been robbing museums and posting videos of it online. She says she's the fastest and most agile thief in town. She even challenged superheroes to try and catch her. Jean laughed. Did she now? Gwen said. She wanted to find out more about Finesse. That night on patrol, Gwen and Miles watched Finesse's videos. She really was amazing. She spun like Black Widow. She fought like Hawkeye. She even threw a trash can lid like she was Captain America. Gwen was sure she could do better. Gwen had never met a villain she couldn't catch. All of a sudden, an alarm sounded. It was the same museum they had visited that morning. Looks like you might get your shot, Miles said. They swung off to investigate the alarm. When they arrived, there was Finesse carrying one of the priceless paintings from the new exhibit. Hold it right there. You're not getting away from us, Gwen yelled. Finesse smiled slyly. I think you overestimate yourselves. A man stepped silently out from behind a pillar. He was wearing a white costume with black spots on it. This is the spot. He makes portals that help me make getaways, Finesse explained. Anyone familiar with the second Miles Morales movie, Across the Spider-Verse? The Spot was the main antagonist there. The Spot threw one of the black spots from his own costume and it stuck to the wall. See you later, super losers, Finesse called as she jumped straight into the black spot and disappeared. Oh no, you don't, Gwen yelled, diving through the portal after Finesse. When Gwen came through the portal, she was on a rooftop. Finesse stood in front of her, grinning. I'm going to give you a healthy dose of consequences for your actions, Gwen said as she dodged a punch by pulling a full front flip over Finesse. Now it was Gwen's turn, but Finesse did something Gwen hadn't expected. She flipped exactly the way Gwen just had. And into a portal, it looks like. Anything you can do, I can learn just by seeing you do it. That's my power, Finesse teased, tripping Gwen from behind. As for Miles, he was trying to keep himself from falling into spots. The spot threw them on the floor beneath him and into the wall where he tried to land. He even threw them right at Miles. How was he supposed to stop this guy if he couldn't even land? Finally, Miles slingshot himself forward, kicking straight at the spot's face. But this foot went right through. The black spot on the spot's mask was a portal too, Miles realized, but he was already falling into it. See his foot coming through. I love that character, the Spot. What a funny character. Back on the roof, Gwen had lost sight of Finesse. I can't let her get away now, Gwen grumbled. Then she saw it, another portal on the rooftop. That must have been where Finesse had gone. Gwen dove through head first, and when she landed, she was in for a big surprise. A big, smelly, open dumpster waited for her. Gwen going through the portal spot and then bam, landing in the trash bin. Or dumpster, I should say. You too, huh? Came a voice from the dumpster next to her own. It was Miles, who had fallen through the portal in the Spot's mask and ended up here as well. I can't stand it. I almost had her. Next time I'm gonna catch her, Gwen yelled. I know you want to prove you can beat her, but if we're gonna stop these thieves, we need a plan, Miles said, pulling a banana peel off his costume. Miles and Gwen spent lunch the next day planning how they would handle things. When Finesse and the Spot tried to rob the museum the following day, they found Miles and Gwen waiting for them. Don't you know better than to steal ancient Egyptian artifacts? Miles quipped. Yeah, that's how you get attacked by mummies, Gwen added. Finesse grinned again. Well, if you want it back, you'll have to come and get it. With that, she ran for a nearby spot. She really gets on my nerves, Gwen grumbled. Stick to the plan, Miles urged. I am. Just don't let her get away. With that, Gwen shot her web line at the Spot and let Miles chase Finesse. Wonder what the plan is. When Finesse looked behind her, there was nobody there. Had they just decided to let her go? Why would they do that? But Miles had used his active camouflage to make himself invisible and had been able to catch up. Got you! Miles reached out a hand and used his venom blast to shock Finesse. She dropped the statue and Miles snapped it up. Meanwhile, the Spot had a much harder time slowing down the agile Gwen. Each time he threw one of his spots, she webbed it up so she wouldn't fall through. She flipped, spun, and pirouetted away from the Spot. The Spot got so frustrated that he tried to jump through one of his own portals and ended up tangled in one of Gwen's webs. Sometimes you gotta change. You gotta switch dancing partners. The next day, Gwen read the Daily Bugle headline to Miles. The Spot captured in historic heist. Finesse flees. Gwen smiled. Next time. Shh, Miles cautioned as Jean sat down gingerly next to Gwen, holding her shoulder. Are you okay? Miles asked Jean. Oh, I'm fine. I just messed up my shoulder last night. It won't happen again, though, Jean assured him. So it looks like Jean is Finesse. And that's the end. That's a cute little story.